Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between, to Goonies World. My name is Ryan, also known as Meanie, or Mean, or something along those lines. And joining me today are Sean, also known as Johnny Pharaoh.
Hi there, I am Johnny Pharaoh, also known as Sean.
And Colin, also known as Goonie.
Hey, how you doing?
And joining us once again is Zach, also known as the Good Dr. H.
Greetings.
Also,
Dr. Hottie.
Formerly, yeah.
Formerly.
Well, yeah, hypothetically.
There was hypothetically. Wasn't that like written on a guitar? Was it a guitar case or an amp or something?
Yes,
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Probably on everything.
Probably.
When you're 21 years old and someone gives you the nickname Dr. Hottie, you put it on, whatever.
Yeah, that's
fine.
sure.
That's a good point. I mean,
You should see the tattoo on my butt.
I thought that was
well, that's an awkward pause. Right?
well, I thought it was. I was just waiting for you to pull your pants down. I mean,
I'm sure there's a zip-like sound effect that can go in there.
All right. Well, so we are going back once again to Jupiter Springs, where MG and Dick E, but also known as Bloody Dickie and Dirty Dickie, and their new boss, their strange old new boss, Boomer, are currently...
That's Mr. Boomer to you.
Sorry, Mr.
All right.
Okay, Boomer.
Gotta get to know him much better before you can call him okay.
That's right.
So the following morning, everybody wakes up as usual at the alarm. Well, I assume Boomer probably...
I probably got up about 4:30.
That's what I was guessing. Yeah, something super early, and sits around watching the news or whatever.
Whatever version of Fox News is available in this world.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it should still be Fox News.
Totally
Probably
pro-alien.
is, yeah.
Totally
Yes, they're
pro-alien.
pro-alien.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, exactly. So it totally is Fox News, and it totally is Tucker Carlson talking about how much he loves the aliens and what an awesome job they're doing. It's just tremendous and all of that. But you guys, Dickie and MG, are. Your morning routine goes as normal for the most part, up until you get to the train station, when it seems, hypothetically, anyway, that your destination may be slightly different today.
One can only hope.
I just would like a break from the factory.
Yeah, at the very least.
Yes.
And of course, we're acting on our supervisor's direct express invitation, so I don't see how we could be penalized for not going to work today.
We'll just give you a bloody Dickie. Sorry.
See you last episode.
And so I assume Boomer arrives.
Yep.
As well, to catch the 7 o'clock train down to the big city.
That's right, gentlemen. I'm glad that you decided to come meet me here this morning, and here's some train passes. It looks like these are probably not our real names. Or how are they specific to names?
No, they're not specific to names. It's just sort of a pass that says it's like a kind of like equivalent to a train ticket. But they look real, which would be really odd because would be pretty hard to get.
It seems like you're a man who can get things done.
I hypothetically know people that we might be. They might help me out here. So maybe, I don't know. We'll find out. It's a long ride down to San Francisco.
But it'll be a nice.
I hope so.
So you guys board the train bound for San Francisco, and it takes off to the south. And, I mean, it's going to take, close to 2 hours probably to get there. So that's a lot of time just to sit around doing nothing. But it's kind of risky to have certain kinds of conversations.
As I have learned to the detriment of my notoriety score.
Yeah, is there,
Might have to hold our conversation until we arrive.
is this like a train where there's like a little space between cars, that might be outside?
It's not outside per se. Have you been on like an Amtrak train where you can go between the cars?
I never have.
So it's not outside. It's enclosed,
Like a subways, kind of.
Yeah, I mean you can go back and forth between them, and you, having done that, you think a couple people could. That would be a place to get some privacy potentially on the train if you felt that was necessary.
Seems suspicious, though.
It would possibly raise suspicion for a couple people to go in there and be in there for long enough to have a conversation. Yes, it would possibly be suspicious.
Just be patient, Dickie. You'll learn more soon enough. It's a watch and wait and keep your eyes open sort of situation.
Yes, I'm gonna check out these other passengers.
Are there a lot of other passengers?
Make sure there's no secret agents.
It's a fairly full train. You assume. I mean, there's a marshmallow fluff factory in San Francisco as well. So many of these people are probably going to work there, and some may even have leisure passes or something. I mean, you don't know, but everybody's wearing the same kind of coveralls. So I mean, it's not like anybody's stands out, which is the point.
We're all just different shades of beige. Not in a great, feel good and come together song type of way either.
We're just hive workers.
Which I love, I say, nervously looking around at the... Gotta remember, you talk too much, Plunger. I mean, MG.
So, the train ride into San Francisco is pretty uneventful. And, after close to 2 hours, you find yourselves at the even much larger even than Sacramento train station, surrounded by the tall buildings of downtown San Francisco.
Lovely town. Really, really is.
Yeah, but it's not as nice as it probably used to be.
Well, let's save that conversation for the stroll, my friend.
All right, gentlemen. I thank you for. I can see that you're potentially sympathetic to this mission that we're on here.
You notice that he's probably now using a little bit different terminology.
Yeah, he is.
Things. Yeah. It's gone from what were we saying before? Hypothetically
to
to
a
potentially.
mission.
Right. I think that you're probably somewhat on the level that you've come this far. So
I've been on a mission my entire life.
and I think that's probably why you were identified for me to come get you and bring you back to our cause.
You mean we were identified? You did say you'd heard of us.
They can spot one of
Talent.
their own.
You can spot talent.
I mean,
It's true.
Yes.
we're generally familiar with your involvement in back in Jupiter Springs and the woods, and
Yes.
and so I would imagine that probably plays into why I was sent to find you.
We have special... See, I always thought if we had done things differently.
We couldn't have known. You keep
but now
eating
we-
yourself up thinking about
But
it.
now we do know.
You might have the opportunity now. We'll see. Unfortunately, I don't know much more from here. We're meeting a contact in the Transamerica Pyramid, the 32nd floor.
Undercover contact. Transamerica Pyramid.
And I'm imagining you guys at this point walking down the fairly bustling streets of
This is what we've been waiting for.
That's right. This
Yeah.
mission we've been training for all our lives in one way or another, Dickie.
Yeah.
If only Chip were here.
All right, so you proceed down the street, and you can see. I mean, I assume everybody knows what the Transamerica Pyramid looks like,
Oh, yes.
and you can see it not too far in the distance. It's one of the. It's probably the tallest building in San Francisco because I'm assuming the Salesforce Tower never ended up being built. So you head in that direction.
Very powerful shape of the pyramid. I ever tell you about all the mystical properties of pyramids? It's actually not mystical at all. It has total basis in scientific fact.
No, I've heard all that before.
Oh no, there are thousands and thousands of bits of supporting evidence, all of which I will tell you about right now.
What are you talking about?
Pyramid power, pyramid power.
Yeah, that was
That's like a TV show. It's like a game show where they win money and stuff. Pyramid, like.
It should have been. If it wasn't, it should have been. No, I slept underneath a pyramid for years. A pyramid made out of simple drinking straws suspended above my head. It's one of the reasons for my luxurious head of hair, which I maintain even to middle age, as well as my supernormal intelligence, as I've always told you.
yeah.
Who would have thought that plastic drinking straws would have such power? And we were told that they would ruin the earth. I mean,
Well, maybe they did. Maybe they did after all.
so we should probably come up. I don't imagine that we're going to have any trouble, but well, we are dressed as factory fluff workers, and we're not headed towards a fluff factory. We might want to come up with some sort of a cover story on what we're doing.
And maybe scouting out more fluff factories or fluff marshmallow deposits.
Or,
We think there's a grand marshmallow deposit underneath the Transamerica Pyramid.
the fluff mine, the great fluff mine of San Francisco.
Sounds like a conspiracy theory.
Everyone knows about the fluff mines. That's besides the point. But
Well, you could optionally choose to stop en route to your hypothetically apparent meeting with your contact to get some different clothes. You could certainly afford to do that. To just some
Yeah.
jeans and t-shirts
Yes.
or something. Maybe be a little more inconspicuous.
yes, I'll go for that.
All right.
I will purchase a blazer with patches in the pockets, a plaid shirt, a black knit tie, and jeans.
Patches on the elbows.
That's what I meant.
Okay. All right. So you look like a college professor, kind of.
Yes. Befitting my scholarly nature.
Yeah, I probably would wear leather.
Like leather rock star pants.
Yeah, and all black and fingerless gloves.
Big spender.
And aviator glasses.
Just what kind of shirt?
Thinks he's
Like a leather shirt.
Thinks he's a
with a
member of
leather
Savage
jacket.
Storm.
Tight black long sleeve shirt with a leather jacket over it, I guess. Just all black.
Like a biker jacket, or
Yeah, like Terminator, like the kind that Arnold Schwarzenegger.
okay. So you're basically dressing like Arnold
Yes.
Schwarzenegger in the Terminator. Okay, gotcha. And does Boomer wish to?
Yeah, so he would probably some sort of a kind of loose-fitting, but somewhat, I don't want to say dressy-looking sweatpants, but there's some sort of casual but not gross baggy-looking sweatpants, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And then I don't know, like a nice maybe like a salmon polo. Like the kind with the little dinosaur or the crocodile on the little emblem thing.
Okay. So sweatpants with a polo.
Yeah.
Interesting combination of
and then-
business casual and casual.
Yeah. And then like a beige, one of those kind of heavy beige windbreakers.
yeah, okay.
That have like a couple pockets, and then like I don't know. He might spring for maybe like a felt, like a floppy felt fedora or something like that as well.
Floppy felt fedora. I love the alliteration.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Nice.
So,
And what
I
co-
figure like he'd be comfortable in that probably. Yeah.
Sounds good. What color? I'm trying to imagine what color is the fedora.
So the fedora. So he's got salmon shirt, kind of a beige coat. So probably maybe like a light grayish plaid. Kind of thing.
I'm almost, for some reason, I'm almost seeing Hunter S. Thompson, but I don't know why that is.
Yeah, kind of. And then they have like the diabetic shoes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so probably something in that area. Very, very comfortable, like orthopedic. I mean, hopefully this wouldn't delay the thing, but he'd probably need to get some sort of orthopedic soles and everything in there.
Well, I'm sure that they've got
special
a
stores.
machine that you stand on and it like analyzes your feet, and then the 3D prints a shoe or whatever out of the perfect soft material.
Got, the corns and bunions and stuff to worry about. So
Boomer's Bunions. Tonight on Boomer's Bunions.
A heart-wrenching tale of loss in the American Midwest.
I need to amend my costume because I forgot that I still wear the very thick glasses, so I need to get some cool clip-on shades.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, yeah. So he never did go for the contacts. So
Yeah, they don't make them thick enough,
he'd be like sticking out of his eyeballs. He wouldn't be able to close his eyes or blink or anything. Nice. All right. So
and I would want to make sure so the windbreaker's baggy enough, so that I could have the thing and it not be very obvious.
gotcha. No problem.
Oh, here's a thing.
You need not worry about the thing.
I don't have any problems with very tight clothes.
Did someone mention...
My thing is not very large.
I don't think that. Well, yeah. Okay. does that mean he's? I can't think of anything that would rhyme with Dickie to
Right, that was true, yeah.
to get everybody's minds were spinning on that. Okay, so everybody's got their outfits sorted, and I assume you proceed then down the street in the direction of the Trans-American.
Did we have some sort of cover story or idea? I mean, we're just regular people now walking around.
I wish I could remember the name of my doctor character.
Dr.
Otto von Hammer, that's right. Boy, you've got a great memory, Dickie. You're Dr. Otto von Hammer. I'm your research assistant, Fabio.
Oh, I remember him. He was a fine-looking fellow.
I'm speaking of the Italian Formula One race car driver, of course.
Oh, not the model with the goose to the nose thing.
No, but he also modeled for the cover of several Druids of Dragondale modules, so I am familiar with the gentleman that you're speaking with. He was Larry Lorax's wife was a fan. There's a whole backstory there. But, yeah, I don't know. So you be Dr. Otto von Hammer, and I'll be your research assistant, Fabio, and you be the eminent geologist, Dr. Emile Gerard. All right, Dickie?
Okay.
You're an eminent geologist. You're looking for fluff deposits.
Sure, yeah.
That's right.
Fluff, I'm doing some surveys.
And I'm merely a research assistant.
Yeah. Well, that seems to check out, I think, yeah.
Makes total sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, Otto von Hammer and Fabio.
Doctor.
Yes, I'm sorry. Dr. Otto von Hammer, Fabio, and Boomer, who I guess doesn't get.
No, I am Dr. Otto von Hammer.
Oh, you're Dr. Otto von Hammer?
Yes.
Oh,
I've
and
always-
you're
I've
the
always-
research
I'm the
assistant.
research assistant.
And who's Dickie?
Dickie is the eminent geologist, Dr. Emile Gerard.
Oh, okay. My bad. I was confused, clearly.
I don't know why. It makes so much perfect sense.
All right. So, you guys proceed toward the Trans-America Pyramid. And there are people not constantly, but occasionally someone will walk out the door, or walk in, whatever. So it looks like it's just open to the public. It's not like you're gonna have to pass a security checkpoint, at least not to get in the door. It doesn't seem like.
At this point in this timeline, what is the purpose of the building?
Well, it houses several different offices of companies and stuff that still manage to eke out some kind of business. But yeah, it's just offices basically.
Okay. Right.
And so you walk into the door, and you see a large bank of elevators. And I believe you were told to go to the
32nd floor, correct.
So you hop into one of the elevators that goes that high.
I've never been that high before.
Except on Marshmallow.
On Marshmallow Fluff, yeah.
I was gonna say, I remember some pretty wild nights back there in Moonstone Hills.
So you find the bank of elevators that go that high, because they don't all. And push the button and wait. And you make a perception rolls. This will be sight-based.
We're rolling a d10.
Oh.
Yes.
I must have been cleaning my glasses, because I don't notice anything. I rolled a 10.
I made it.
And we want to get under?
Under or at. Right?
Yep.
I got it.
It seems a little surprising. You would think in a building this big with this many people going around, you would generally expect to see surveillance, but you don't.
My kind of building.
And
That's rather strange, but I don't...
so the elevator opens, and you get in, and you push the button for the 32nd floor, and perhaps your ears pop as you are whisked upwards. And the elevator stops when it arrives on the 32nd floor. And the door opens into a little hallway where you can...
Well, gentlemen, this is where the end of my instructions come. So it's all on our intuition from here.
Right. This is where you hand us off to the people that are going to take us to the death
Right.
camp.
To the Marshmallow Death Camp. I mean, what?
You're gonna get fluff boarded.
No, not that.
Not again.
I used to fluff board myself back in the day, but
So, you guys step out of the elevator, and you immediately see on your right a desk, like a reception desk, behind which is sitting a 20-something looking attractive young woman with dark hair and fairly pale skin. And she's sitting behind
You said dark hair and pale skin?
Yeah. And
Vampire.
very interesting.
Vampire, obviously.
And she's filing her fingernails, looking fairly bored.
Because they would naturally grow very long and sharp.
Are there any mirrors or reflective surfaces in the area?
I like the way this man thinks.
Well, there are, as a matter of fact, because there on the wall behind her are several framed gold and platinum records, and the sign above them says Uber Songs and Sundries.
Okay.
They're time-traveling, song-stealing vampires.
What the hell are you talking about?
Well, my uncle wrote me the strangest letter from prison. Well, never mind. It's just a long story. I'm just saying there are these time-traveling, song-stealing vampires. That's supposed to be a thing. It's an urban myth, but you never know.
Well, aliens were one time an urban myth, so anything's possible.
The old man speaks the truth.
And this girl who's filing her nails seems to notice you talking, and she kind of looks up at you and kind of stops filing her nails. And she points her thumb around the corner behind her and says, "She's expecting you. All the way back, straight through, and no snooping around. She warned me you were snoopers. I'm watching you."
I'd never dream of it. Who could this she be?
Usually, women aren't expecting me, so I don't know who it could be.
Sorry, I was self-censoring about 30 jokes that popped into my head there.
Right.
All right. Thank you. What did you say your name was, Miss?
Beatrice.
Beatrice. Oh, I knew a Beatrice. Do you know the Beatrice that used to live in Texas? She had a small house out of Austin, I think it was, and she used to she raised sheep. Do you remember Beatrice?
I've never been to Texas, old man.
Oh, my mistake then.
What the hell? She like shakes her head and starts filing her nails again, looking very confused and slightly perhaps irritated. And don't forget, I'm watching you, she says, pointing at the little bank of monitors.
Bloodsucker. I say that under my breath.
Clearly. It's been a while. It's been a long time since I've seen one of those.
Yep.
A mirror proves nothing. As we all know.
She doesn't like to be kept waiting.
All right, let's
go. I can only move so fast.
So she has motioned you kind of around the corner to her actually left. And you walk around the corner and you can see there is a door straight back this little hallway. And on it says President. And then there are two other doors on either side of this little hallway. One of them is on the left side, and it looks like a very heavy sort of reinforced door, and it's got a very small window just about eye level, and there's a red light above it, which is on, and then there's another door across from that which just looks like a normal door.
Did she tell us which door we were supposed to go to?
She said all the way through, straight back.
Okay. Which door is straight back?
The one that says President on it, that's just straight down the hall, at the end of the hall.
Oh, okay.
We'll go see El Presidente.
Yeah.
And you will avoid snooping.
Well, I was just thinking
Well, they specifically told us they're watching us.
I wouldn't want to give them the satisfaction of snooping. They said we're snoopers. More like detectives.
Yeah.
Dark Knight detectives.
We get to the bottom of things.
do.
We can't help it.
No, it's in our nature. But we're not going to give them the satisfaction. Let's not snoop yet. We'll snoop later.
All right. So you go walk straight back towards the door that says President on it, and you knock, or do you just open it?
Open it.
I got open. Yeah.
Just walk right in.
Okay. You open the door, and there is a desk in here, and some more, records on the walls and stuff. And it's not a very large office. It's pretty small, actually. Smaller than you would have thought for a president of a big company, although perhaps it's not a big company. You don't know. And there is a dark-haired woman sitting in or what you assume is a dark-haired woman sitting in a chair. She's not facing you. She's facing away from you. But so the chair sort of starts to spin around as you walk into the room, and there are a couple chairs you can sit in. And this woman spins around and faces you, and she's got a piece of paper in her hands, and she's kind of looking down at it. She looks up at you and says, "Plunger, Dickie, it's nice to see you again."
I'm gonna flip my shades up on my glasses and say, "We meet again."
I knew it.
I assume you probably don't go by Plunger anymore.
MG is what they
MG.
call me now.
Yes.
And I'm also assuming this is who we think it is.
Yes, you recognize Tracy. And she reaches into her pocket and pulls out a small business card, which she slides across the desk towards you. And it says, at the top it says, Uber Songs and Sundries. And under that it says, Tracy Estrada, President. And then...
Tracy Estrada.
And then beneath that it says, Vamp A&R.
So brazenly displayed. What's this Estrada business? Do you know something about Chip?
Yes, we're married. That's our daughter out front.
What? I knew she had an attitude.
Why you named your daughter Beatrice?
It's my grandmother's name.
Oh, is she? The sheep raiser from Austin.
No. They were from Romania.
Oh.
But Chip he's here? I can't believe he hasn't contacted us.
If Chip is married to this thing, he's not the Chip we knew.
Married to this thing?
We know what you are.
We knew it then and we know it now.
You left us some clues, not very obvious, but I caught on to them.
You were clever, but not clever enough for Leatherman and Avenging Condor.
What? What are you talking about?
You're a bloodsucker.
Oh, that again? Chip told me about that. Jeez, guys.
Huh, you're still playing stupid, huh?
Look,
If you're really married to Chip, then where is he?
this is home. We live in the city here.
House husband, eh?
Where's home? Is it...
The Tenderloin?
Yeah, okay.
Well, go ahead and say what you've brought us here for, then. I'm more than intrigued, I'll tell you that much.
Well, as you might have noticed, the world is pretty fucked up.
You're a bit older than Chip, aren't you?
Are we safe
A couple
here?
of years, right? You ever worry what's going to happen when you start aging?
I'm a little older, yeah.
A little older? All right, well, okay.
But
Does she look?
I mean, she could live for longer than me.
That's true.
I feel like that's a little bit ageist.
Live 1,000 years or more.
oh, Jesus
How closely
Christ,
does she look to what we remember her looking like?
she looks like she's aged just as much as you guys?
Well, of course she would, wouldn't she? She'd take steps to...
Makeup.
Yeah, makeup.
I don't know anything about makeup, but
Wipe that scar off your face.
it can be done.
That being said, I'm not so sure that adult Plunger and Dickie would be quite so easily convinced of vampirism, but
Well, I mean, if they
want to believe.
it's vampirism that they know was true back when they were kids. People hold on to that.
that's true. That's true. All right.
Look, I know you seem to think I'm a vampire, even though you're adults now. But I'm not. I mean, Chip told me all about it, you know, you guys and your crazy theories, but I'm not a vampire. But, we'll get to that. But, as I was saying, the world is fucked up. You might have noticed.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. It's not supposed to be like this, okay? It's not supposed to be like this.
You don't need to tell us, sister. We know.
Are we safe to talk here? Are we being monitored?
This room is safe. I assume you close the door.
Now, should we check this young woman for wires?
My daughter? Or me?
You're still a young woman.
Why don't you give her a good frisk, Dickie?
All right.
I don't think I need a Dickie frisk, but all right. You can frisk me if you want. If you insist, Dickie.
Careful there, that's Chip's lady.
I have to warm up my hands because I don't want them freezing on her cold, dead skin.
Do the old Mr. Miyagi. All right, so yeah, you frisk her, I assume, in a not rapey way, and yeah, doesn't seem to be wearing a wire or anything.
Well,
Make a perception roll. I spoke too soon. No, she does not seem to be wearing a wire. But if had you failed, she would have been convinced that she was. So, can we talk freely?
All right, let's talk.
let's talk freely then. Have a free flow.
So, to say this. My grandfather started this company in the 1950s. And he may have employed some people that you would recognize as what you seem to think I am. And they used to do things and bring reports from certain places about how things were. And this is not how things are supposed to be. Do you get what I'm saying?
I think so.
Listen, sister, just flat out lay it on the line. You don't need to talk in riddles with us. You've just declared the existence of vampires.
Yes. And they might occasionally be inclined to travel through time to find great songs and then deliver them to points in history when they, in their professional opinion, they could become the biggest, most marketable hits. And we had hits throughout the 90s and the 2000s.
It's not just an urban myth. I knew it.
And they would come and tell us how great things were in the 2010s and the 2020s, and this is not what they told us.
So they're lying vampires.
No, I think we got in some fucked up alternate timeline somehow.
I think you're right, and I think it might be our fault. We failed to act on the information we had back then.
We did everything we could. We're just kids.
Yeah, but now we know then what we know. Now we know now what we knew then that we wish we could know then that now we know.
Well, yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Obviously.
Makes perfect sense. So you're saying these vampires can travel through time literally. You're confirming this.
They could.
But they can't.
And I don't know. I assume they still could. They can, but they're not around anymore. I mean, they've all disappeared after the fucking aliens came.
Well, how did they travel through time?
I don't know. They're vampires. They're magic.
So where do we come in?
Well, as you may have noticed, there's something of a movement, huh? Yes, movement.
After those triple bypass burgers we had last night, you can bet there's been some movement.
That's probably true, yes.
So, I thought, or I should say, we thought, that you guys were our best candidate for a project that we have going on.
Well, obviously, that's the first intelligent thing we've heard you say yet.
So,
We're your best bet.
So, as you may know, we have a stockpile of alien tech stored in a facility in Nevada.
I knew it!
And we've used this tech and fused it with our own knowledge to build what we think could be capable of sending people back or forward in time.
Oh, me. Send me.
Well, you're awfully eager, Mr. MG, but I think it would be possible to send both of you, just not at the same time, because, I mean, we got to do it. It's only one person can fit in the thing, and and whatever, and then when they're gone, then we can do the next one.
So you're saying that there's only one set of this alien technology that can send people back in time?
Well, we've only managed to construct one machine so far, yeah.
That's interesting. Where about in Nevada did you say this was?
It's north of Las Vegas, a couple hours north of Las Vegas, just outside of Rachel, in a facility that is known as Groom Lake or Area 51 or...
Oh, yeah.
I was raised on that story.
Well, the real activity actually happens at a site called S.P.R.I.N.G.S. That's where...
that's
where they actually have the aliens, spaceships.
Oh,
It's part of the overall Area 51.
I've read the Stryker report. I'm fully familiar.
Yeah.
So, what we need you to do is to get to this facility, and we can probably get you to Las Vegas. That's easy enough. But I don't know that we can get you. I mean, once we get you there, it's going to kind of be up to you to get to the actual facility.
Now, we want to take the old man with us. He's got a brain buried behind those roomy eyes.
They're very dreamy. My baby blues.
That's what I meant to say.
Right.
Dreamy, yes.
Sleepy, dreamy.
So,
I mean, they call me Old Blue Eyes. I did spend a fair amount of time in Las Vegas as a younger man, so...
Plus, he's got all that change, and so that'll be fine for the 1980s, because we'll hit Starbright Arcade first thing we do. He's got a whole bag of quarters there, just to get the nerves out.
Sometimes I think you're still that kid back in Jupiter Springs, that chubby kid. Not while I've grown into a hardened man.
I'll tell you what, I'm not a chubby kid anymore. I'm a chubby man. And I'm all man.
and I'm going to prove it by showing you my penis.
And I don't have any artificial parts, if you know what I'm saying, Dickie.
I would say the same thing aside from the pacemaker.
And he probably needs hearing aids too.
What? Oh man, lady.
So I can get you to Las Vegas fairly easily.
All right.
But the easiest way to do that is going to be actually for you to, and I hate to send you backtracking, but to go to Jupiter and visit my guy there. He's a great forger, and he can get you passes to Vegas. Now, that's the most direct route. And from there, he may be able to even get you a gun or two, possibly.
What would we need a gun for?
We're martial artists. We eschew the use of unless you have a laser gun. Unless you have a laser gun.
Well, do aliens have any tech like that around that you've captured?
They don't come down here anymore.
Well, you said you had alien technology.
Yes, but that's not from, as far as we know, not from these aliens. That's alien
all kinds
tech
of aliens.
Oh, that's from
more than one breed.
Area 51 collected alien.
Makes perfect
technology.
sense. All right. Yes. Well, yeah.
Surely there's some lasers in there.
We'll go back and see this fellow. Who's this forger you know in Jupiter?
His name's Spivey.
Spivey. Okay. Spivey. Sounds good. Sounds like a forger's name. Well, the future worked out well for him.
Yeah, in this timeline anyway.
In this timeline, he wasn't beaten to death.
Right.
I guess, yeah.
Not yet.
All right, so it sounds like...
All right, Tracy.
Yes?
You've got yourselves a deal. But here's a message you give from us to Chip. You tell him, real friends stick together. We expect to hear from him when this is said and done.
Well, if everything goes according to plan, you won't be here to talk to him. So,
aren't you worried that you're going to lose your husband? That things won't quite work out the way they did this time?
Oh, I see what you mean. I don't know. I assume maybe. I just don't know. I don't know what's going to happen here. I mean, maybe this timeline just evaporates and disappears and never happens, or maybe it gets fixed, or maybe I don't know enough about it to know what the hell's going to happen exactly. But I think this is our best shot.
I agree with you. And give Chip our love.
I'm ready to lay it all on the line, and if this timeline ceases to exist, I'll just fade out. But
fade to black, man.
There's just no reason. The world's better off if a world that doesn't need Bloody Dickie is better.
No world needs Bloody Dickie. All right, so once you get back in time, now we don't know how the aliens got Marshmallow Fluff, okay? Chip doesn't think that you guys had anything to do with it.
I'm sure we
sure
didn't.
were pretty,
we were pretty careful.
But ideally, once you get back there, you should track down how they got it and stop them from getting it if you can. Poison it before they get it if you can. Do, whatever you got to do.
You got it. I hear you. You don't think we could have been responsible for...
I mean, we were pretty cavalier with leaving jars around.
Back then, we'd get like a can of marshmallow fluff. We'd assume it was going to last us all weekend, and then, an hour later, we're there at the Piggly Wiggly buying more. S.P.R.I.N.G.S. Yeah.
We were hoarding it in the caves and everything. And
yeah, it was pretty bad.
So they could have gotten their hands on it.
We could have become frightened in the caves and dropped our marshmallow fluff. This could all be our fault. We have a chance to fix it now. All right, yeah, we better get back to... Old man, are you going to come with us?
Yes, at this point, I'd much rather go back to being a spry.
What time was this again? The original kids on bikes.
80s.
Yeah, I mean, 30 years younger and being able to feel my feet. That would be great. So
I don't think it de-ages you, but we'll find out, I guess.
You'll have to find your younger self.
No, you can't talk to your younger self. Any contact between us could make things worse. We have to try to do this in such a way. Oh, who knows? Maybe I've seen too many movies. Tracy was right about one thing. We don't know enough about how time travel works to know what could happen.
well, if I'm reading between the lines, and you think that you might have been the responsible parties for giving them this marshmallow fluff, well, allegedly or hypothetically, then what? How would you be able to interact or stop it without visiting your past self?
We might have to disguise ourselves, and that's the only way I can think of.
Well, your past selves don't know me.
That's true.
I could be quite an intimidating individual, especially to little kids.
I don't know. We were pretty tough kids. We were bad seeds.
Well, I mean, it was Little Dicky and Plunger. I'm not sure how much toughness that inspires.
I know how I would handle you. If I was young Dicky, I'd just shine a light into those baby blue of yours, baby blue eyes, and then go in there and kick your low-hanging nutsack, and that'd be the end of it.
Punt it right off his body.
Well, let's hope I'm a step faster than Little Dicky.
Dicky the Nut Punter.
I wouldn't count on it.
No, but I think young Plunger would listen to what you have to say. I've always been a curious fellow. So I say let's get back to Jupiter Springs and see this Spivey character, get the passes we need.
Tell us more about this Spivey character. What are we getting into here?
Well, all I know is he's a forger. He's worked for us here in the Resistance for some time, and I think he may have been incarcerated at some point. But I really don't know. I've never even met him personally. I just I always send people there when they need to get stuff forged.
That's right. She's the spider at the center of the web.
Kind of on the side, but yeah.
All right, Tracy. We'll get back to this whole vampire business later after we save the world.
Yeah, it's just pretty strange that she's telling us vampires do exist, but somehow she's not one, even though she meets all the criteria.
Because I have pale skin and dark hair?
She admits it. No, let's save the world first, then we'll worry about saving Chip's soul.
Yes, they might go hand in hand, so let's...
Wiser words were never spoken, friend.
Let's... how are we getting transported to Las Vegas?
Well, they can take care of that, but... Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, let's head on out then.
All right. Well, we'll go ahead and take the train back to Jupiter and look up Spivey.
Well, she gives you an address to visit, which is a small, fairly ramshackle house in what is probably still known as Sugarbush. But
all the memories.
yeah, so you guys leave your meeting with Tracy, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And go back down the elevator. Beatrice just watches you go, kind of smiles and gives you the nod.
Say hi to your dad for me.
You guys know my dad?
Yeah, well, possibly, if it's who your mom says it is.
She pulls out a little device, much like this, and flips over to a picture that looks like a middle-aged Chip.
Oh boy.
And
Yep,
and
that's
her
him, all
like
right.
kind of like standing there like smiling.
That's him, all right.
Is this indoors or outdoors where this picture's taken?
Outdoors.
Yeah, well, still a daywalker, of course.
You know, if we succeed in our mission, get ready, because you're going to be half Korean. All right.
All right. Man, that's a lot of assumptions about what happens with them. Anyway.
It is.
All right, so you guys get back in the elevator and descend back down to street level.
So did she mentioned guns. Was that from Spivey?
Yeah.
Or okay, all right.
Yeah,
all right.
she said that she thought that Spivey might be able to get you some guns. And guns may or may not be necessary, but, well, we'll just find out, I suppose.
Right.
And so you head back to the train station in San Francisco and take the train to Jupiter. And, of course, and I forgot to mention, but it may have been obvious or implied, but you can't even get on the train until you show them
Right.
your ID or your pass or whatever.
Yeah.
And this is ostensibly so they can help you find the right train, but really it's so you don't go anywhere they don't want you to go.
Right.
And you, of course, your identification shows you live in Jupiter, and so they are happy to let you on the train, and you ride back to Jupiter Springs uneventfully, and by the time you get back there, it's probably getting into evening-ish time.
That's good.
You probably still have time to visit Spivey before the end of the day if you would like.
Oh, yes. Let's waste no time.
All right, well, I don't want to stay too long. I'll have to...
Well, you can go if you go ahead and turn in if you want.
No, that's okay.
But you're going to stay up. You're going to have. It's going to be a late night for you.
I might need a second cup of coffee for that.
He just blew past dinner time at 3:15.
Right, that's right.
All right. So you get back to Jupiter Springs and walk through the train station. And Sugarbush is not that far of a walk, so you could just walk straight to Spivey's at this point.
Oh, man, that doesn't sound appealing at all.
Don't worry, old man. It'll be all right.
Well, someone I trust you young whippersnappers will carry me if I get too tired.
Yeah,
so.
we'll give you a piggyback ride if we need to.
Okay.
You said it was pretty short, right?
Yeah.
Too bad we still don't have those bikes we used to have. We need some men's bikes to get to after we get to Vegas. We can take some hogs out into the desert.
Maybe get a sidecar for me.
I've always thought that would be great. Yeah, a little sidecar with an old man in it. That just fits my whole vibe.
It could be. You should get like it would be like a tandem hog with like a sidecar. So like
There we go.
And then like
There we
another
go.
set of handlebars behind it.
And those are probably just laying around everywhere to be lifted on the streets of Las Vegas.
I would think so, yes.
Oh, clearly. All right, so you find the address that Tracy gave you, and as I said, it's kind of a ramshackle little piece of crap house here in the bush. And you go up and just knock on the door. Mm-hmm. All right, well, you knock on the door, and a voice says, "Come on in."
Spivey, I presume?
Correct.
Chip sent us.
Chip?
Tracy's husband.
Oh, Tracy.
Tracy, the charming young woman in San
really,
Francisco.
yeah, really pale, really dark hair,
Yeah, come
like strangely pale,
come on in,
like too pale.
he says.
All right.
And I presume you walk in.
Yes, we're going to Spikes.
I'm going to do like a sort of cautionary maneuvers when I walk in there. Just kind of get on the, like, immediately put my back against the inside wall. I don't know, just look stupid.
Okay. Well, you guys walk in, and Dickie does his like police clearing the room routine or whatever.
Let him do his business. He knows what he's doing.
I would probably help with that. Boomer's former military, so
Fair enough.
Yeah.
You're gonna, like, break a leg or an ankle or something.
Well, you know.
I didn't go into the military, but I'm
Do it
sure
very slowly.
certain I would have been assigned to military intelligence had I gone in.
So you guys walk in the door, and you see this guy, this pretty old guy, maybe not Boomer old, but getting there. And he's sitting in a comfy-looking recliner, which is not currently reclined, rocking back and forth in a dimly lit room with a large desk with all kinds of paintbrushes and pens and just all sorts of, art supplies, basically. And he motions to a dusty couch. Feel free to have a seat if you like.
Yes, we will. Thank you.
I'll stand, thank you.
It takes me a while to get down and up, so I'll probably also just stand.
Well, suit yourselves, I suppose. So, what can I do for you?
We're told that you can get us passes for Las Vegas.
Okay.
We need passes for Las Vegas, and my friends here will require firearms. I myself, my body is a living weapon. I will need no gun.
That Tai Chi stuff is not gonna work.
I'm
sorry to tell you.
I'm not even talking about the Tai Chi. I've been trust me.
All right.
With one touch of the finger to the right part of the anatomy, I can render a man completely immobile. It's called the stink finger, and it's a move that is classic.
Well, I guess that does make sense.
And you notice Spivey kind of eyeing you.
Something strange about me, Spivey?
You just look a little familiar, that's all.
Well, I heard you were incarcerated. Perhaps you know one Melvin Grubb?
Yeah, I think I've heard of him.
Yes. He was a great man. He's my uncle.
Huh.
I'm told I'm the very living image of him.
Interesting. So, you say you're going to Vegas, huh?
That's right. Sin City, baby.
And I will require arms, preferably laser guns.
Well, I don't have any laser guns.
Damn it.
But
We were told you had laser guns.
I'm afraid I do not have laser guns, sorry.
At least have a laser sight.
Yeah.
Laser sight we could probably do.
That'll have to do.
And, would you say your name was Merlin?
Just call me MG.
MG, okay. I think you better take the gun, just in case.
All right, if you insist.
But you're going to want to keep these, out of sight, so to speak. And he hands you guys a couple guns, and he says, so, you come back here, I'll work on these all night. And you come back here in the morning, and I'll have them ready for you. And you want to go straight Jupiter Springs to Vegas?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. I believe that's going to be a 9:30 train tomorrow morning, so...
We'll be back bright and early. Yeah. Boomer here is going to wake us up at 4:30.
That's true, yes.
We're going to have some coffee and donuts with some old boys down at the Price Chopper, and then we're going to start our day.
So, yeah.
So... The question I have, then, is are you going back to the barracks?
No.
I should
never.
also mention that your notoriety has gone up to 3 since you did not show up for work.
Good.
You know where we should sleep tonight? They might be looking for us at the barracks.
Yep.
We need to go back to my old house, see what's above the garage. See if it's even still there.
I was kind of thinking my house, it's, probably still a lot nicer than your place. And
Your house has probably become the residence of some corporate stooge for the aliens. No offense, Mr. Boomer.
Not really a corporate stooge.
Plus, as everyone knows, the room above the garage has always been our headquarters.
yeah, that's true. Wonder if that old ham radio still works.
I don't know, but it's probably someone else lives there now, and
Those frequencies are probably banned. We can't use it anyways. Well, maybe... So you're expecting some stranger to let us... Well, maybe we can just sneak into
that's what I'm saying.
detached garage. And
That's
sleep
what
there.
I'm saying. Well, let's walk by there. It's not far from here anyway.
No, it is not. It's only a few blocks, as a matter of fact. And so you walk over to your grandmother's former residence. And
Oh, I miss Grandma.
it does not appear to be occupied at all, as far as you can tell. And it has fallen as such into,
Disrepair.
a state of disrepair, as has the detached garage. But it doesn't... You don't think anybody's going to care or notice if you just walk in.
Is the carving on the tree still there? I mean, it's probably grown over quite a bit, but can you still tell where something was once carved on it?
Ooh, make a perception roll.
That's a strange symbol that started this whole mess. Yes, I see if there's one there or not.
You are pretty sure you can detect where... I mean, it's not
Where it was.
nearly as apparent, because it has, of course, been grown over, but you can tell that it was definitely there at one point.
Well, let's go upstairs. And you think my, is it hoping too much to hope that my laser disc player is still up there and intact? My copy of John Carpenter's They Live?
I think so, but, well, we don't know.
And the thing with the extra 15 minutes of Wilford Brimley wrestling with the rubber thing?
And you could have been the last occupants of this place.
I think we probably were.
And that is confirmed when you enter the detached garage. And there's still some stuff...
Some old Dingleberries flyers in the
Yeah,
corner.
Dingleberries flyers, yellowed Dingleberries flyers hanging up, and indeed, what a coincidence! You do find of course, well, what would it be now? A VHS tape of John Carpenter's The Thing.
Oh, yes. Well, this is what I was talking about. Listen to me. I'm lisping again. It's like going back to my childhood. Although we could get a chance to do that literally soon enough, so maybe I should cool my jets. Let's just get some sleep. I should have some sleeping bags around here somewhere. We'll give the old man the couch.
That's very kind.
All right. That's down in the practice space. We'll climb the ladder to the loft.
Yeah, don't make the old man climb the ladder. He'll just fall and break a hip.
No, he can sleep on the couch where Derek used to bang all those groupies back in the day.
Well, I'd like to sanitize the couch first, if possible.
Just be glad we don't have any black lights in here anymore.
So I assume it's like there's no power or anything like that.
No, there
Like,
is unfortunately not any power. Now there is power to other places. They have lights on in other
Right.
houses and stuff. But yeah, it's
Does
been
it
turned off.
Does it look like there's been any sort of other intrusion or things?
other than by like rodents and stuff?
Right.
Because like there's stuff been sort of chewed here and there, and you can see bite marks and teeth marks and stuff, and mouse shit and whatever, and raccoons have probably come in and looked for food and shit. But yeah, other than that, no, not really. It doesn't look like any people have really been here in quite a long time.
Interesting.
All right, then. Well, looks like these sleeping bags are still here. Probably shake them out real good. There could be some rat poop in them.
Yeah.
Could make you spend save points for that, but I won't. We'll just say that
Yeah.
sleeping bags are here.
Yeah, they're a little musty.
Yeah, at some point before, whether it's this evening or in the morning, would definitely want to go through and scavenge any particular items that might be of use from here on our trip.
Okay, well, if you would like to have... Well, and I brain farted whether Spivey gave you both guns already.
Yes.
I have one. I wrote
Okay,
one
yeah.
down,
I thought he had, but I wasn't sure. And so if you wanted to spend save points to find things that could be here, that would be totally a thing to do.
Well, I'm going to save mine.
I want to save my save points because I think I might get shot and need them. And I don't know what. This is going to be all about brains and guts. So, anyway, I say we get some shut-eye. In the morning, we go see Spivey, catch that train to Sin City, and then we go back to the past.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
All right, well, with that, I think we'll wrap it up for this episode right here. And next time, we'll head off to Las Vegas and see how the hell you're going to get from there to Area 51, because it's a pretty long fucking way when there's not a lot of cars and shit.
Sounds like we figured that out already with the tandem
That's
motorcycle sidecar.
You got it.
I mean,
There's, if I remember the same world, somewhere not far from here, there's an airplane as well.
That's right.
that's true. And there's an airport where there might be airplanes. That would be a very interesting thing to try to do. But we'll see how that all shakes out.
Unlike our previous guest, Zach actually listens to this
That's
podcast.
right. That's
Yeah, so,
right.
yeah, he knows. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think any of the other ones actually ever listened to the episodes they weren't on. So,
That's true. That's true.
all right. Well,
I don't think that Thrasimica's even listened to the ones he was on.
he might not have. Yeah,
And I can say that because he's not listening right now.
All right. Well, I am excited to see what happens en route to or in Las Vegas and places further afield. So join us next time for Las Vegas.
Baby.